Hey there, preppers. Welcome to Goshen Prepping. When it comes to stockpiling, obviously we have a huge assortment of things we can stockpile, even some foods that last, practically speaking, forever. But I find there's one item that preppers don't seem to talk about. However, it probably should be the number one thing you have on your list that you should prep and stockpile, and that is protein powder. Now, I talk about all the time how we're on keto, and eating proteins and protein powder is a great way to not only get in shape, stay in shape, but feed your body, give you muscle, all those things you're really looking for to be able to survive and thrive and do very well. Now, when it comes to protein powder, not all of them are the same by any means. I like to use the Muscle Feast Whey Isolate. And for the fact that it has a lot of things going for it that I look at as far as, the ingredients go. And some of those ingredients would be, for example, there's no sugars. You'll find some proteins out there, some protein powders that have sugar in them. And honestly, if that's what you're looking for, that's perfectly fine. I don't like having any sugars in mine at all. But you'll also find other ones who will remove the sugar, but put artificial sweeteners in there like sucralose. In fact, I find the majority of proteins, you find sucralose in there, and artificial sweeteners are really bad news. I mean, personally, I can't have them at all. So I eliminate those by having this particular protein as well. Instead, this protein has some stevia and some monk fruit. And those are some sweeteners. They're not artificial at all, but they are sweeteners that I can handle and give it, just a little bit of that flavor that makes it taste a little bit better instead of trying to just choke down some powder itself. Another ingredient to keep in consideration, which some of you may not care, is called L-cysteine. L-cysteine is something that's often added, and the source of it is the reason we will not ingest it at all. We either get it from, this is in our industry, by the way, it's in your food. You'll get it from either horse hair, pig hair, or are you ready for this? Sometimes even human hair. And there's a lot of a lot of products on the market out there, like even Dunkin' Donuts, by the way, has L-cysteine in it. Unless it's actually listed as being a vegan L-cysteine, it actually comes from one of those three sources. And I mean, not that I eat donuts anyway, but Dunkin' Donuts, I won't touch them if I had to because they have L-cysteine and they won't tell you where they get the L-cysteine from. When it comes to donuts, it kind of makes them more fluffier. All right, but anyway, sometimes you'll find the L-cysteine to be inside your protein powder as well. Now, again, if you don't care about the stuff, then go for it. But Muscle Feast is one of those proteins I've been looking for that has all those, ingredients I've been looking for in something I can actually ingest. Because all the protein, basically being a whey protein, it comes from milk. We'll talk about that in a second, why that's important. But also, it doesn't have those artificial sweeteners in there, which are really bad. Now, when it comes to having protein powder for long term, I will be the first to admit this will not last forever. It'll last, though, for years, even as is with the if the cap on it is sealed. But the problem is, being a whey isolate, it's isolated from whey, which we're talking about milk. It does have milk enzymes and such in it, in which it will make it expire. So what I do for long term is I'll get this, break the seal, open it up, put it in an oxygen absorber, then reseal it, make sure it's really sealed tightly, and that way it's going to decrease the chances of oxygen going in and causing spoilage. Now, the bacteria is not going to really grow in here anyway, being a dry powder, but that always is a possibility. But being from a milk derivative, there is a possibility it still may spoil per se. So oxygen absorber and seal it, and then let's say 10 years down the road you open it, I wonder if I can actually eat this, or is it spoiled? First thing, by the way, even though it's not going to have the awful stench of rotten milk, I'm talking about spoiled milk, but if you open it up and you're like, take a smell. Oh no, that actually smells pretty decent. If you actually have even the smallest whiff of rotten milk, spoiled milk, then obviously it has gone bad. Secondly, look in there to see if you see any changes, like any type of mold and such. That's an option also. And if there isn't, color changes will kind of show mold. And if there isn't, then, do a little taste test. There's another flavor that I enjoy also, strawberry cheesecake. That last one is chocolate. And so basically do a little taste test. Does it taste fine? Does it have some kind of really funky aftertaste? It may have gone bad. But either way, overall, it should last a long, long time. And unfortunately, this is one of the situations where I can't give you an actual number of how many years. But the answer is years, by the way. It'll last years with an oxygen absorber in there and sealed. Okay. Now, even if that's the case, let's say you pull it out 10 years later. I don't smell spoiled milk. Seems to taste okay. Even if it has gone bad being just a powder, you ready for this? It's not going to kill you, and it's not even going to make you seriously ill. At the very least, it may simply give you some stomach upset problems too. So will it last a long, long time? Indeed it will. All right, so protein powder, in my opinion, is one of the best things you should store. And I'll be honest with you, it's not cheap. This brand or other, mind you. I'll put a link below if you do want to pick up this brand. It's not cheap. But when you're talking about finding, practically speaking, the perfect food to store, I mean, really perfect foods would be like eggs. And you can store egg powder, mind you, but eggs themselves don't store too well. This is something you should seriously consider adding to your prepper pantry and stockpile it, because proteins really are the key to life. They'll make you healthy, they'll make you thrive, they'll make you strong, and will definitely carry you through some of the hardest situations you've had to go through. Put in the comments below, are you a fan of protein powders? I love this stuff. Obviously, I drink it now in it's a protein powder drink, by the way, if you didn't know. I drink it now after I have like a good workout and such to help build my muscles up and everything. But protein powder is definitely one of the best, if not the best prep you can ever stockpile. Thanks for watching.